Hi everyone, this is Hazel Marie, and I wanted to share with you the reasons I have not been um, on YouTube. If you've been to my channel, then you know that I've not really posted anything since November. However, since that time, I must say I've had a really, really tough 2017. Uh, as some of you know, or may not know, I suffer from stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Originally, I was diagnosed in 2003 with breast cancer, and I had a mastectomy and reconstruction, and I took chemotherapy and 5 years of medication. In my 10th year, uh, after I took my first treatment, I was diagnosed again with cancer. So it's been um, an up and down sort of battle for me since 2013, and I'm entering my 5th year now. But 2017, I think, was probably the worst year, one of the worst years of my life, I guess, because I had a lot of problems with my side effects. I had a lot of pain. Uh, in December, my oncologist told me that my medication was not working, and I had been taking it for almost 2 years. And it was by infusion, which means that they go through your port and you're at the medical center for several hours. But it was no longer working, so he stopped my medication. And he said that he would like for me to consider going into a clinical research study for a new uh, cancer medication. And he also told me that what he had left to try on my cancer was very limited because I have had everything you can think of, all the latest, greatest um, cancer meds I have taken. And so, anyway, I was interviewed, and my records were gone over to confirm that I have had massive numbers of medications that had stopped working. And so I started my medications in January. It could have been February because there were a few weeks that we just had to wait for confirmation for this and confirmation for that. And then I had to have tests, brain scan, total body scan to make sure that my cancer had not spread beyond what we thought it had. And so we started me out on a 16 milligram of medication. Needless to say, I had horrible, horrible side effects. Uh, I can't even start to describe to you because it would be terrible. But anyway, we had to stop the medication. It was too toxic for my body. Then my administrator over the program, he went back to the pharmacy research people, and they said, okay, we will give her 12 milligrams. So that was from 16 down to 12. So we started that, and needless to say, it was still too strong. I ended up having a lot of the same problems. And through all of this, of me starting and stopping, I was told that most people get one or two side effects. Me, no. I'm special. I get 5 or 6 all at the same time. So you can imagine how bad it was. I said, okay, I will consider taking it if they'll drop it to 8 milligrams. And so they did. And my doctor reaffirmed that there was a limited amount of drugs that were left for me to take. So I said, okay, I will give this a try. And so we did the 8 milligrams. I was on it for 2 weeks and 2 days. And I contacted the administrator and I said, I cannot handle this anymore. eating was almost impossible, uh, as it had been during this period of time. Even over the 4 or 5 years, you still tend to lose weight because when you're taking chemo and different things, it affects your appetite, and sometimes you just don't want to eat. And I told him I just could no longer take this, that he understood. And so I went back to, of course, I was seeing my oncologist along with the administrator. Constantly, he was approving my treatments. And anyway, we talked, and he said he wholly agreed with my not taking any more of the medication. It was just too strong for me. So he said, we will wait 3 weeks for this to clear out of your system, and then we will put you on more oral medication. And so he put me, 3 weeks later, he started a treatment, which was last Friday. I started the treatment of Herceptin and chemo, and they were both oral. So there was no going to oncology and sitting there for hours while they did the blood work and waited for the results, and then you had to sit there and go through the infusion, which sometimes could take, my latest one was 2 hours. I had some that lasted 4 hours. And so anyway, I'm on that right now. I'm on it at a reduced amount because my doctor said I had had such a bad experience the last few months that he did not want to just jump in and give me the highest dosage. And so that's what we're doing. I'm feeling pretty good. It's still hard, I think, to, I found myself over these last few years of cutting myself off from my friends and family, not because I don't love them, which I do dearly. It was just that I felt like I needed to withdraw, and withdraw I did. I slept a lot. I still sleep a lot. Mornings are not really good for me. I like to sleep a lot. Fortunately, I have a husband who's totally supportive of whatever I need. If I need him to go get me something special to eat, he goes and gets it. He's taken over taking care of the house, and he is just wonderful to me. He is just fabulous. I just can't say enough about him, and I can't say enough about my oncologist. He is beyond fantastic. I trust him totally and completely with my life, and which is what you do whenever you have cancer and it's a stage 4. But you know, I'm not going to live in the past. I'm not going to say, woe is me. I don't want anyone to pity me, because I know that my faith has grown stronger, and that Jesus has walked with me. He has held my hand. He has lifted me up. He's carried me. And he gave me my husband to love me. And I think Jesus uses him to show his love for me. And I have a beautiful network. I have family, my daughters, son-in-law, my niece, which are all my immediate family, and my grandsons. And then my sister and brother and brothers. I have a gazillion nieces and nephews. I was counting the other day, and I couldn't even believe how many I had. But I came from a very large family, and on my dad's side, I am the last Lockhart out of 16 children. I'm the last one. And I went through that last year, and that was kind of hard too. But I try to love all of my nieces and nephews, and I've reconnected with some, and some I'm getting to know and love them. They pray for me. I can't believe how many Christians are in my family. And even those that may not be Christians, you know, they're all like, I'm praying for you. I want to encourage you, strengthen you. My church family, I've been going to my church for almost 48 years. It will be 48 years in September. And I worked as a church secretary for 21 years. And then I've done a lot of volunteer work at my church. And then I was the manager of the library for 20 years. So you can see I'm used to being around my church family, and I had totally withdrawn from them. But I am going to put an end to that. I'm going to, as long as I feel okay, let's preface that by saying, oh, Lordy, the way I felt sometimes, I just want to crawl into a hole and pull a blanket over my head. But I'm hoping that will be less and less and less. And I want to reconnect with my church family and a lot of my family, and I've already started doing that. And I just thank the Lord that He's given me my Facebook family, my YouTube family. I know on Facebook I've had so many people praying for me because I do paste or put up a update. On YouTube, I have not really said anything per se, other than it was a bad year last year for our family, losing my only brother on my daddy's side. I still have two brothers on my mother's side and one sister. And my mother had a total of 9 children, including me. And my sister and I were very close. And I just thank the Lord for her and her daughter, and all of my family, my friends, my nieces, my nephews. I really don't have many cousins and I have no aunts and uncles because my father was 59 when I was born, and I'm 71. So you can imagine, he and his siblings are all gone. So it kind of leaves me as the matriarch as far as the Lockhart side. And I hope that they look to me as a loving aunt. And also my mother's side of the family, I gladly give that to my oldest brother. He can be the patriarch. I think I have that's correct. And my sister and my other brother. And I don't want to be the only one, on that side. So I gladly give them that job. I do want to say how much I love you. I appreciate you. I thank every one of my subbies for coming to my channel and for leaving comments. Right now I'm at, I think it's 421, I believe. And my goal is to get to 500. And right now, of course, I want to go beyond that. But right now, my goal is 400 or 500. And what I do is I set them in increments of 25. So right now it's 425. And I just have 4 more to go. And for those of you that would like to be a part of my our YouTube family, I encourage you to like and make a comment. Like I said, God is good, and He's good all the time.